Twice for the record.
Welcome. We have a quorum, but I don't think we're going to vote on anything tonight because this is our it's a special meeting that we rescheduled from last week because of some issues that our membership had with the date. Let's see, we just came back. I should also state that we just came back from a walk through the old firehouse and the new firehouse. One of our other commission members also attended, Mark Keslow, also attended, but he was ill, and so he left. He couldn't make the meeting. So at this point in time, we were going to, the first item on the agenda is a report on the Chestnut Grove. And I did speak to the person in charge there. And initially, he stated there was a sign already there. I didn't go and see that.
For no trespassing?
For no trespassing, and that it was not a dog park. And that this was a place where they're doing a study of the chestnut trees. And he did say also that because of the spikes on the chestnut, that they could be very dangerous for pets and for people. So, and he's also stated that he goes in the grove on a regular basis to conduct studies in there. And they go in there to also mow the area, to maintain the area for the study. So it's not conducive to having people going in and out or having animals in the area. I guess there was some kind of a problem where, there were when they were working there were some people with their pets in there, and so they decided that a lock had to be placed on it. So as of now, as far as I know, that a lock has been placed on the grove. So hopefully that should deter people from using it.
And he didn't need anything else from us, signs, or he was happy?
No, he said he said that there was a sign.
Okay.
It was very visible. It was inside, and it was very visible. I haven't had a chance to go there and look at the sign, so perhaps what I can do is go there, take a picture. So for our next meeting, just to, show you the picture of the sign and show you that it's been, the lock has been placed on it and it's been secured. But
okay.
yeah, so that's the extent of the situation. And okay, so the second item, which is an important item, is for us to develop a calendar for the 2016-2017 year. Now, I don't believe we have a date to meet in August. I think we don't, maybe you can check, but I don't believe.
Think we put one on the
Yeah,
calendar.
I don't believe so. So perhaps what we could do is develop a calendar of dates, a list of dates for next year, for the end of this year, and also for the beginning of next year. And then we need to submit those dates to the town clerk to file them so that they're public and people know. So I know that the chair's not here, and also Susan's not here, and Mark's not here, but should, for the people that are here, I guess we could develop the dates and maybe vote on them when we meet in September, or maybe we could email them the dates,
See what they say.
Get input from them, and
So when
then
we
decide.
say dates, are we trying to decide, are we going to have our meetings every Monday, or Tuesdays, or the second week, the third
Right,
week? Just
exactly,
set dates
exactly,
every
yes,
month.
every month,
Yeah.
so that those are our regular meetings, and we don't have, if we cancel, then it would become a special meeting. and we would have to file that, and we can't discuss anything new on the agenda if it's a special meeting. Like tonight, we cannot discuss anything. If you want to discuss something else, we only have to follow, we can only follow whatever's on the agenda. Okay? So, should we look at our calendar? Well, let's decide first. Should we keep it on a Monday or Tuesday, or?
I mean, I would think that that'd be a good question to send out to everybody.
Okay.
How do they prefer, Monday or Tuesday?
Okay, so should we put some dates out there? Should we keep the first, second, or third week? Right now, we're meeting on the 3rd. Should we continue to meet?
I'm pretty flexible myself.
Okay.
So,
Terry, what about you? What do you think?
I'm pretty flexible as well.
Okay.
I think as long as I have advance notice, I'll put
Okay.
it on my
Okay,
calendar.
so
So
why don't we,
I could send out an email saying, does everybody prefer Monday or Tuesday?
okay,
And then, you know, second, third.
third,
you know, or
and then
whatever.
we can look at the calendar. I think the problem with the 3rd is that this year was that there were a lot of holidays on the Monday.
I think Mondays typically tend to be
Holidays.
worse than Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So
But then, we have to make sure we don't, we try not to conflict with some of the other commission meetings.
Right.
do
You
they
know.
have their schedules published yet?
Probably not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that that's an important key. Maybe that's why, we should keep it on a Monday, but make sure that if we look at the schedule, again,
Right.
the other members should decide, should be included in decision also. But the other thing we should keep in mind is that if it does fall on a Monday, we should make sure that if it's a holiday, we schedule a Tuesday so that we don't
Right.
have the issue that we had this year
Right, with the special meetings.
with a special meeting. So we know, okay, it's a holiday, we'll go for Tuesday. So
Okay.
that sounds
Sounds
good?
That sounds good.
Okay, very good. All right, and I'm sorry, I have to keep looking at my phone since I don't have the agenda in front of me. The third item is finish reviewing the proposal draft of the benches on the Fitzgerald tract. So, do we want to add, do we want to delete, do we want to have any more discussion on that? Do we feel that it's good to go? It's
So it was
something.
presented to,
We have
board?
not presented to the Board of Selectmen.
I thought it was already presented.
Not the benches. I think the
Oh, it was just
Gardens.
Yeah, the gardens.
The
stuff.
gardens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was confusing.
Yeah, the gardens has been presented. That
Okay.
that has I think Kim presented that to the board. So should we schedule discuss
Probably would be good maybe to get them out to everybody,
one more time?
let them review them, and then maybe next meeting just make a
Final
decision
decision.
on 'em, yeah.
So we're gonna hold off till September?
Yeah,
Okay.
if anybody feels differently.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. I remember
Yeah.
discussing the changes, but I don't remember
Seeing a final.
seeing the
Okay.
I don't
revised
think
draft
I
of
can
it.
So maybe you can ask Kim to get us a final draft,
Yeah.
and then we can take it from there.
And then I guess, right, in between, anybody has any suggestions, we can get them to Kim, and then
Right.
hopefully it's ready to go for our next
Okay.
meeting.
Now, the fourth item is discuss the walking tour of the firehouse and the senior center. But we didn't include the senior center this time,
Right.
so why don't we propose that we do the senior center and the gym or the exercise rooms for September.
Okay.
We'll do a tour. Marty, will you schedule that?
Yeah, I will get it done.
And what's the purpose of that tour?
Well, again, to discuss,
I think more to see the space, you know.
That space, but that won't move right until they can enter that space at the old firehouse, right?
Exactly.
So until
Right.
one,
Right.
there needs to be movement on one in order
Yeah.
for the other to.
but again, it would be making a proposal that we need to move
Yeah.
on that
Okay.
shed in order for the senior center, if that's the proposal,
Yeah.
we'll be moving to the old firehouse,
Okay.
or,
Right.
okay? So
And but where the gym is right now, I mean, didn't you say that that's gonna go to the police?
Yeah, well,
department?
that was the last proposal that I had heard, that,
Okay.
you know, that the police department, needs to expand, needs to be renovated, and so
Right.
there's a proposal out there and how much it would cost to, renovate it,
So that's not set, it just sets what their expectation is.
yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure, at this point. Do you know any?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, if everything got moved, they would
If it-
take
yeah.
over more space in the center
Right.
building and major renovation.
So it's like a domino.
Yeah.
You know,
it is.
one thing has to happen before
So it's
the next.
basically, the shed has to be built.
The shed is holding everything up, yeah.
Unless
yeah.
they can find some sort of alternative means of
Right.
storing the stuff,
Yeah.
that's gotta be done.
Right.
Yeah,
It
it's-
needs to be climate controlled, so that's the challenging
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so then we'll continue to discuss that for our next meeting. And then, any other comments on the walking tour in the senior center? Do you think that that's a good proposal? Do you think that that's something that we should study more?
I think that it's hard to make a decision based on the amount of money that, was it Sean said? Sean?
Sean
Um,
Rollins.
1.7 million to renovate the old firehouse for potentially a yoga studio upstairs and a senior center on the main floor.
And the gym.
And a
Go there,
gym.
too.
Well, if it were a senior center, part of it would probably be, and if it had an elevator, it probably would be for the,
Right, it's a lot of money for the building where it's aesthetically pleasing, but, you could knock it down and rebuild something else for that, but.
Yeah,
and have
I mean,
it
I'm
brand new,
just
but
wondering,
that's not
like,
gonna happen, but.
so because it's not gonna generate revenue, right? Because we don't charge use for the senior center.
But
for-
the town does have some money that they have to use
A steep
for
grant.
that.
Okay,
So there is money to
And
use.
insurance
I don't know how
money.
much it covers of the cost,
Yeah.
the actual cost, what percentage it
Do you know
covers.
by when they have to use that money and how much it is?
There's a deadline, I don't know
there's
what
a
it
couple
is
years, I
personally.
think they still have a couple years on it, but,
Do we know how much?
I don't know.
Sean had mentioned maybe 500. I'm not
1,000.
sure of the steep grant. I'm not sure though.
Yeah,
I would just be interested in like seeing the demographics served, like how many people are using the gym, how many people are using the yoga class.
we've had those reports, and that information is available, so.
Okay.
I mean, we could get
But
that.
the gym is for the senior center, right? It's not, is it open to the public?
It's a public gym,
It's a
yeah.
public
It's a
gym.
It's a
public gym.
recreation
Yeah.
department gym.
Yeah.
And they charge membership,
Well, they charge, I
Yes.
think they charge a little,
Yeah, I think something, nothing.
nothing,
not
So
bringing
if
in
you're
like
part of-
money.
Big. Right.
But if you're
Right.
part of the recreation department, then like if you have access to the pool, then can you use that gym? Is that part of it or is it separate?
I think it's separate.
Okay.
I think it's separate. I think, they have one price for both, and then,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I remember it was like, not very much.
So I agree with Terry. I think it's probably a good idea to find out, like, who's utilizing it, what the numbers
Okay.
are, what's, really who's being served by this. Is it worthwhile?
There's quite when we studied it back in the day,
Yeah,
when I was on the board of selectmen, there were quite a few people
they were utilizing it.
that were using it, and they were very vociferous about moving it to
Yeah.
the old firehouse. And we did also explore at that time a cafe,
Yeah.
and we did explore it. We also asked the high school to see if they wanted, to be involved in it and have the students run it,
Right.
as an internship or something, and they didn't want any part of it. Again, because you have to, it's very expensive. You have to change the zoning, and
Well, you mentioned the zoning wasn't so much the issue, but it was the issue of that a lot of construction would have to be done with that
Right.
space in order to make it work for that. But what I think
The
what I think the
grease
challenge,
train and-
what I
Yeah.
think the issue here is, or for like what I think what people are looking for, at least from what I'm also hearing, is that people what they really want in this town is like a central area to be able to congregate. You know, and that's really what's missing here. And so it seems like, you know, a lot of these things serve very specific interests, you know, but not really the town as a whole, you know. And so I think that's kind of like where there's a disconnect, you know, between you have a certain segment of people who want something,
Right,
and like,
right.
you know, but here you have kind of like a jewel of a
Right, it's a jewel.
place
It's a jewel.
that really could be used in a way that might be able to impact the town, the greater town, better if it's all at all possible, you know. But obviously, it seems like there's so many challenges here.
There are a lot of
that it's
challenges.
like it kind of almost makes you want to say, you know what, you want to give up.
That's
you
why
know,
it's
why it's sitting like this. For
it's
10
sitting
years.
like this for,
Yeah.
you know, 10 years, or, you know.
Which is really unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
You know, and so, but what Terry also mentions, which is also I think very important with this, is that I think in order for something like this to work well, is if it can figure out how to make it something that you can monetize, you know, and that makes it easier for the taxpayers of this town to swallow, you know, if it is at all possible. But that's also something that you have to kind of creatively think about how you can make something like that work.
And then
Especially when you have people who are used to like having a senior center and they're
Right.
able to go there for free, you know, and it's hard to let them make that change.
Right. And then the other opposition that we received was from the local businesses also. The
Right.
local business
yeah.
felt that this was gonna take away from their businesses.
But again, we're talking about issues that
Yeah,
come up.
I mean,
It's called capitalism. But
yeah.
Yeah, but we're also, these are
I'm
issues-
just
these are issues that come.
I'm throwing everything
Yeah,
out.
These
Yeah.
issues
Absolutely.
came up, what, 7 years ago when this first happened? When this first,
It
when
was
this
about
last
10 years
discussed?
ago.
All right,
yeah.
so things have changed in 10 years
Yeah,
quite a
yeah.
bit, you know,
Yeah.
so I think it's something that
And
should
the
be
other,
revisited.
I guess the other proposal, which is being thrown around also, is the Country Club of Woodbridge, you know, being.
And I think that has a lot of potential.
And again, there's a
But
there's
who
a
knows what direction that's going in either.
Yeah.
It's like a wild
and there's a
card.
big price
Yeah.
tag on that also. So
And also, I don't know if it's smart to make a decision for the firehouse based on what could or could not potentially be developed at the country club, because, like you said, like, we don't know. There's nothing imminent as
Right.
far as we know. So I think they're two distinct properties that we have to look at sort of separately. But it would be interesting to see what other options or proposals can come into the old firehouse, because
And-
it is strategically placed in the middle of town.
so how do we go about obtaining the other options?
Well-
Recommendations from
I think it would be probably something that could be addressed at a town hall meeting.
Okay.
You know, have the community have input. I think people like transparency and like to have a say or be a part of decisions that
Now, I don't know,
affect
what I
the
don't know,
town.
is that something that should be driven by us or by the board, by Ellen, you know, someone to
Yep.
kind of introduce this? Because when you introduce this will clearly make some waves, you know?
Oh, it definitely
You know,
will make waves.
because there's so
yeah.
many competing interests that want to have some,
Exactly.
you know, grab on it.
Exactly.
So I think it has to be thought through pretty well, and like, you know, done in a politically sensitive way
Right.
to make it look like this is something that we're trying to really make. We want to figure out what to do with this space. It's
Yeah.
been too long. It's been 10 years, you know.
It's been too long.
Right.
And so
And
it's
figure out
something that
what
needs to be done.
restrictions are on this space. Like you'd mentioned, like zoning. So maybe a commercial building couldn't go there. I don't know. Like we should figure out before
With the zoning that
presenting
we
it.
have now, no, it couldn't go. Okay.
So it has to be private,
That would-
privately, or
that would- yeah.
municipal building only.
Right. At this point in time, so, but, I mean, these are all food for thought, discussion, can we, you know, it's not gonna take, we're not gonna make those decisions in one meeting. I think we need to continue, you know, to do our due diligence and to continue to study them and continue to talk to people to see what the community, you know, would be interested in having.
Right.
So, I mean, I believe that we should continue to put this item on the agenda also for the next.
Yeah,
Next
maybe for, you know, public comments, people might want to come and
Right.
give some recommendations.
Because people might have some really good ideas. You know what to do
Right.
with that space.
Right,
And,
exactly, yeah. The fifth item on the agenda is the report on the signs for town hall, and I'm happy to report that when I pulled up this evening, they have been removed. So I'm happy to say that,
That's nice, good job.
yes, they've been removed. I understand that I spoke to Betsy Yegla, and she's in charge of signage for the town. And I understand that they're talking to a company to decide how the signs should look in town and where they should be placed, which makes more sense.
Right.
You know,
Keep it
it's a
consistent.
company that does it for other communities, other towns, to come back and to make the recommendations to us. I think the signs were, I don't know who put the signs up, but, you know, I know it wasn't, Ellen didn't decide that that's where the signs were going and, you know, put them up herself. So someone put the signs up and they weren't placed, you know, in a way that beautified the property. I mean, it kind of commercialized the property. So I'm glad to see that they have been removed. And the final item on the agenda is the minutes, or are the minutes. So if you would look them over. So we have April 12th. Should we look at those first? April 12th minutes. Any discussion on that? Marty, thank you for submitting the minutes.
No problem.
We appreciate it.
Looks good.
Looks good. Motion,
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
Second.
Okay, minutes, aye? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, approved unanimously. And the next set of minutes, Monday, May 23rd. And any discussion on that?
Not for me.
Okay.
Looks good.
Motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, second. All in approval? All
Aye.
in favor? Aye, okay, unanimous. Okay, so the meeting is adjourned at 7:02. I thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
Laura,
you.
thanks a lot for.
Thank you.
For arranging the tour.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
we are-
for scheduling.
We are off for the summer.